Lately, I've been seeing a lot of comments complaining about the MR2, begging for the MR2. Where's the MR2? Oh, it's been so long since the MR2. It hasn't been that long since the MR2. Calm down. We just did an MR2 video. Look. MR2. Last time it was on the channel. Coming up. It's coming up. It's just... I think it was like right around... Okay. That can't be right. Okay, yeah, a year is a long time, but at least we did send the car off on a high note.
Yeah, the car's not gonna do it. Mars. Something's wrong.
It's so frustrating.
Okay, but we did have at least some good races with it.
I qualified second to last.
Oh, I mean, it's a Toyota. At least it was reliable.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's like out of the hub.
185, okay. Yeah, I'm 30 horsepower down on what I was last year.
I've missed this car. In theory, my 2001 MR2 Spyder became part of the channel under the rationale that I was going to use it to get cheap seat time. Okay, my Evo doesn't really do all this oversteering nonsense, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. Check this out. What is this car? I am blowing the doors off a 911 because I am the shit. Hey pal, sorry about your GT3. Shame you can't buy talent. In practice, I did 2 track days with the car before a failed injector harness, fuel-starved cylinder 2,
Easy.
the cylinder overheated, and the piston melted. I used the 1.8-liter 1ZZ's demise as an opportunity to swap in a 2.5-liter Toyota 2AR engine with the aid of my buddy Marc from Frankenstein Motorworks.
I'm here to turn this 158 horsepower motor into a 240 horsepower motor because that's what this MR2 needs.
This is a high compression 4-cylinder from a hybrid Camry, but with some addition and subtraction of a few key OEM parts and some custom engine mounts, it's a 230 wheel horsepower opportunity to really embarrass yourself at the racetrack. All right, I got this. When in doubt, flat out. When in doubt, flat out. Oh, I hate Colin McRae. Yeah, laugh it up, idiots. You troglodytes have never seen a 2,100-pound car with 230 horsepower. That's the same power-to-weight ratio as a Koenigsegg 1-to-1. Yeah, thanks for the point, bye, buddy. Just watch and learn, pal. This is how late you can brake in a 2,100-pound car. The first iteration of the 2AR MR2, where I changed nothing grip or braking related and simply installed a Challenger booster rocket in the dumper, went exactly as you'd expect. Now I had done 4 entire track days for the cost of only 1 engine swap, in the car I'd bought to get, quote, loads of cheap seat time with. Now was the time to get serious about refining the MR2. So of course I gutted the entire car and decided to go wheel-to-wheel racing with it. 1 8-point roll cage and Fast and Furious wide body kit later, and the car was ready to win races. One ABS module later, and the car is ready to battle for last. Yeah, I almost finished my first GLTC race without getting lapped. I don't mean to brag. Unfortunately, GLTC is an ultra-competitive series with cars that have been refined over seasons and seasons of racing, driven by some of the best grassroots motorsports drivers in the country. In other words, sweats and tryhards. For me to be competitive, it was going to take more than a perfect smile, a winning personality, and an indomitably positive outlook.
It's fucking dog slow, dude.
Our first time on GridLife's dyno, we expected the car to make close to what it had made right after we installed the engine, 220 horsepower on pump gas. It made close to that.
185, okay.
The car was designed with the philosophy of high weight and high horsepower, so 1 out of 2 wasn't bad. But that's okay, we were surely going to find the horsepower, right? Well, to answer your question, here is 4K footage of me getting dragged by a Honda Del Sol. But I'm not a quitter. When I put my mind to something, I don't give up. So I dropped the car off with Marc from Frankenstein Motorworks and told him to figure it out.
Well, let's go to the injector tester. Let me show you something. We've got cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. Check this out. If we idle this injector, we can see all 4 of them are flowing, but the spray pattern on this one is not quite as nice. Number 4 is contributing. This makes sense why we were still seeing an even idle. This is where it gets really ugly. The more the frequency increases, so the RPM increases, the less that injector sprays. So for some reason, that number 4 injector had failed in such a way that it was still providing a smooth idle, and then when you got on the gas, it was just enough to not sound like a dead hole. Let me go ahead and put this back together and let's see what it does. Here's the before and after. You can see we gained 28 wheel horsepower. The MR2's back. Hopefully Ben can properly enjoy it this time and make some good content for you guys.
The joke's on Mark. I don't make good content. But the MR2 is at least running and back together. I can't imagine what I would have done if 2 engines in this car had been ruined from injector failure. The good thing is, it was never at any risk of serious damage.
I really don't know how that motor did not melt down.
Astonishingly, the Toyota was not dead.
It's home now and has been for literally a year, but after an entire 2023 season of being constantly frustrated and discouraged, in 2024, I wanted to take a break from that kind of suffering.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh no. Yeah, you blew the motor.
A nut in my intake up against the turbo blades.
Hey!
I believe the head has been lifted off the block.
Oh, yeah, that's done.
Now that I've had a year of rest, relaxation, and reliable cars, I'm finally ready to get back on that MR2 shaped horse. But I'm not going to do GLTC again, and it's not because I was horribly uncompetitive or it damaged my ego, because I wasn't and it didn't, okay? One, why would I restrict myself to building a car for a series that doesn't generally take place close to me, especially one where I was horribly uncompetitive and had my ego damaged? 2, it's not good for YouTube. Listen, making cars slower just to fit within wheel-to-wheel racing constraints does not equal interest from a general audience. GLTC is a lot of micro-refinement.
We got almost a perfect 50-50 weight cross split. It's what, like a 55?
And YouTube wants a lot of...
Oh my gosh!
Also, the extremely even playing field and close level of competition made me look bad and damaged my ego. Third, it's not particularly what I'm interested in anymore. I always felt like I was sort of just jumping into GLTC because it would make good content for both Ben and I to be racing in it. But it didn't, and I was miserable and also horribly uncompetitive. My ego was damaged. So, I'm doing something different with the car, but don't worry. I've learned from my mistakes with the car in the past. I'm not just going to throw away all the development we've done on the car over the past 4 years in favor of some big, flashy engine swap that promises 100 extra horsepower. No, if there's one thing this whole painful process with the MR2 has taught me, it's that anything good requires patience, determination, and that everything in this game of automobiles is just one continuous process in refinement and connection with one's car. To truly be in tune with a vehicle, you have to listen to what it wants and slowly build a connection with the machine.
She feels amazing!
After all, who's to say that a car is just a car and there isn't some kind of ghost within the shell, something greater than the sum of its parts? At the end of the day, what is it about cars? Why do we have such a connection to these pieces of steel with four... Wait, hold on a second, you put a V6 in this piece of
Check it out. 354 wheel horsepower.
Nani? Toyota Sienna Rexa Super Displacement Motor. Only two certainties in life, death and snap oversteer.
I ain't going nowhere.
It can't be a widowmaker. I'm not married. If the car doesn't kill me, this project was a failure. Tuccia V6 MR2 Super Snap Oversteer. I paid for this roll cage and I'm gonna use it. Tell my family I love them.